Good afternoon, everybody. It's 3 o'clock, so that means it's time for our Q&A with some really great folks today to talk to us about self-advocacy. So without further ado, I want to welcome you to our call today and welcome our guest, Samantha Crow, who is the treasurer of St. Louis ARC Self-Advocates, and Madeline Webster, who is the, I don't know what your role is, Madeline, the support advocate support person. She's got a title. Madeline will tell us what it is. I'm going to have her introduce herself, tell us a little bit about her, and maybe what spurred her interest in advocacy.
Yeah, so hello, I'm Madeline, and typically I'm the transition navigator at St. Louis ARC, but I also advise the self-advocates group, so advisor is the word you were looking for. And I started in advocacy work. This is embarrassing, but I really started because the last program I oversaw had a thing about it in the grant. And I said, well, I guess I better learn about self-advocacy. So we ended up starting a group, and I thought it was just so cool to watch people grow as leaders, to learn new skills, to see their confidence grow as they started to take on advocacy. And I was just so blown away by the growth that a self-advocates group was able to inspire. And so when I came to St. Louis and Miss Sharon Spurlock interviewed me, I said, I really want to be able to do this again because it was really important to me. And so I have had a lot of fun doing that.
Thank you, Madeline. It's great to have you here today. I not only messed up advisor, I messed up Samantha's title too, which is financial wellness officer. It's very fancy. So Samantha, welcome. Can you tell us hello and a little bit about yourself?
My name is Samantha Crow, and I heard about this from my case manager. Her name is Emily Bratton. She works at the DDRB. And I look at the site and I decide to check it out, and I'm still pushing forward, and I'm going to try to probably this Thursday give an overview about credits to the group. Then next time I'm going to do a training over the group.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to circle back to, actually, maybe I'm just going to talk about that right now. Most organizations have a treasurer just to manage the money that they've got. But your role sounds like it's so much bigger than that. So you're going to teach other advocates about credit. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you learn about credit, and how did you know that that was something you could share with them?
Through this financial wellness training, I signed up.
I think that's so cool, Samantha. And I want Madeline to tell us a little bit about the St. Louis Self-Advocates group, because you've really targeted a group of younger people. And I think when I was younger, I was horrible with money. So it's really cool to me that you're teaching money skills. Madeline, why are you prioritizing younger folks with this group?
I think that transition age is a really important time in your life to start to transition some decision-making responsibilities onto yourself, because as you start to become an adult, there's more expected of you, and there's more things that you start to have a little control over in your life. And a lot of times as people come into adulthood, they realize they don't know how to make decisions because it's never been asked of them before. Things like how to spend your money or how to save your money, or things like who do I vote for? Those are questions that start to become relevant as you become an adult, when maybe before nobody ever asked you those kind of things before. So I really wanted to target this age range because I wanted people to feel as they came into adulthood like they had the skills to make those decisions. And also because, frankly, I think that this age range is awesome in terms of there's so much energy, everybody's excited. If you can start to get people invested at a younger age, then by the time they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, you're going to have real leaders to lead in disability rights movements because they've started this work a long time ago.
Yeah, nobody just like one day wakes up and has leadership skills or necessarily knows how to speak up for themselves. I think we all have to practice and learn specific things. So Samantha, obviously you've learned a lot about money and financial wellness. Are there other things that you think you've learned since you started hanging out with the self-advocate group?
I learned before I hang out with the self-advocacy group, and when I was in school, I took a personal finance class.
Okay. So other than money, are there other things that you are wanting to learn about speaking up for yourself?
I want to learn to speak up to myself or stand up to myself when I need help or when I'm struggling at.
Hey, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
We're glad you're here. As soon as Samantha finishes, I'm going to circle back and have you introduce yourself.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Michkeal.
No problem.
You were just talking about wanting to be able to speak up for yourself.
Okay, I want to stand up for myself and speak up for myself, and also try to help other people when they are struggling to stand up for themselves too.
Okay. Yeah, that's actually a totally different thing. It's one thing to stand up for your own issues and your rights, but to be able to help other people do that is a different skill. So that's no wonder you're in a leadership role, Samantha. That's really important. All right, everybody, I'm going to back up and we're going to introduce you to Michkeal Cross, who is the president of the St. Louis ARC Self-Advocate Group. And Michkeal, what I've asked everybody to do is to do a quick introduction so that we can get to know you. So if you can tell us a little bit about how you spend your days, what are some things that are important to you, that'd be awesome.
Hey, everybody. My name is Michkeal Cross. As Ms. Sharon Spurlock has said, I am the president of St. Louis Self-Advocacy, and now I'm an official board of directors for the St. Louis ARC, which I have my first official meeting at 4 o'clock after this. So how I spend my day? Well, basically reading a lot, try to meditate. You know, mental health is very important, especially in the Black. So I'm trying to keep myself sane and calm, because depression and anxiety is like, ooh. I also try to work out every now and then. Yesterday I just worked out and I'm sore, but and what is important to me, you know, now I'm getting to know more about disability disability act rights, and just my people, my Black people, and our rights. So both of those things are important to me, and just the environment, climate change, child hunger, because the population of children not eating healthy and not getting the nutrition that they need. I'm a total advocate for that. Just so much more that that is literally important to me. Also in education as well for students with learning disabilities, because i.e. I have a learning disability as well. So yeah.
Well, you can tell why you're the president. You've got a lot of passion about what you're talking about. And you know, congratulations on joining the board at the St. Louis ARC. It's really important to have representation. And I think it's been quite a while since we've had an advocate on our board that receives services. So I'm really, really excited about that. Madeline talked about how having an advocacy group really allows you to build those skills so that you can move towards leadership roles on boards of directors and committees and things like that. So, so do you think that there's anything, it's been such a short time since the self-advocate group started. Do you think there's anything that you've learned in the group so far, Michkeal, that's prepared you for today's board meeting?
The thing that I learned about St. Louis self-advocacy is that each and every one of our members are very special in each and every way, and they have a voice. For example, EJ has a voice. I'm telling you, when there's something on his mind that he wants to speak, he's going to say it. So for that, I commend EJ for that. So everybody, even like myself, has a voice. Samantha has a voice. We all have a voice, and we're going to use our voice so that our voice can be heard in the disability community. So
I really also appreciate the fact that you're talking about issues that are human issues, not necessarily disability issues. So it's important that we care about education being equitable for people with disabilities, but clearly you've got other things related to the environment and racial equity and things like that that are important to you. Samantha, what are some of the issues that are important to you right now?
I have a couple thoughts, Samantha. I think one of the things we've talked about is money.
Is
I think
that I have a lot of skills.
Samantha does have a lot of skills, and I think that one of Samantha's biggest passions is using her skills to help other people. But I think that Samantha cares a lot about using her skills to help others, and one of those, and part of the reason she wanted this role as an officer was money and to help people feel empowered with their money. Would you say that's true, Samantha?
I do have a lot of skills.
So do you feel like you have more confidence to use your skills now that you've got the advocacy group to talk to and work some things out with?
Yes.
Excellent.
I have a lot of helpers.
Yeah, I think it's important too that sometimes we all need help, and I don't think just because you're an advocate means you're independent. What are some of the things that you ask for help for, Samantha?
If I need help with money, if I'm still struggling, they will help me. And other stuff too.
Excellent. Madeline, what are some things you need help with?
I am in the process of trying to refinance my car. And so I've been working really, really hard on my credit. And I'm going to tell you, nobody ever taught me nothing about credit. So my stepdad has been answering a lot of questions for me. I would say my sister, who's really knowledgeable about that stuff, has given me a lot of really good advice. So money is a big one for me. But also, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I'm a terrible, terrible cook, and my partner does all of the cooking. And so that's an area I get help into.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to recognize when maybe you're just not the right person for a job too. So, Michkeal, I want to ask you that, but I want to ask you a little bit more specifically. Since you're joining the board, is there anything you've got in place so that you feel comfortable and confident in that new setting, going in and being a board member?
if I go with the flow, then that's fine. But if I do have like questions that needs to be answered, then I will email that person or like comment on the box just comment that little box on that Zoom thing and just like, okay, what is this? What are they talking about? Why are they talking about this? Catch me up so that I can understand what is going on, stuff like that. So
yeah, I think it's partly our responsibility too to make sure that every new board member gets some of the help they need. So my understanding was that you were going to have a partner on the board who was kind of going to be there to be that friendly face to make sure that you had what you needed. Is that right?
yes.
Excellent. I think that's our responsibility, not only to provide space for you guys to teach each other and learn about all these advocacy skills, but also when you get into a new setting to make sure you're comfortable, whether it's to have a partner on a board committee you're on, or Samantha, sometimes we've partnered on doing some training while you get comfortable with the financial training. And I think those are really nice things for us to be able to do for each other. So I like that a lot. So I'm not sure who wants to start this part of the conversation, but I'd like to know about the goals the advocacy group has established this year. Are there things that are important to you guys that you want to work on?
So I know for the advocacy committee, because I'm part of it, we just, the past 2 months, in April, we had started trying to come up with a way for legislators, Missouri state legislators, to come to Zoom to talk to us, to give us answers that we need in order to improve, not only for the disability community, but also for every community, whether it's in the Black community, the Asians and Pacific Islanders community, the LGBTQ community, and stuff like that. So next month, hopefully there will be some Missouri state legislators to come to answer our questions, because we just emailed them like last week, and hopefully we can email them with a follow-up email to see if they can come to, talk to us. So that's one of our goals that we try to have for this, just for this year and this month.
Samantha, do you want to jump in, or Madeline?
Well, our goal is trying to get a talent show going.
Okay, so why is a talent show something that's important to you guys? Are you doing it to raise money, or are you doing it so people build confidence in who they are?
To build confidence, and it's gonna be free.
Okay, so it's just for fun and to let people kind of build their own confidence. I like that a lot. We've talked about this a fair amount, and I wonder, Madeline, if you could tell everybody what they might expect if they come to a St. Louis ARC self-advocate group, because people can still join, right?
Yeah, people can join anytime. I encourage people all the time to hop in on a meeting, and even if they keep their camera off or stay on mute if they're a little nervous, that's totally fine if they just want to see kind of what the vibe is like. Each week we have kind of a different topic or theme for the trajectory of the meeting. So the first Thursday of each month we do team building, so it's something fun. So this coming Thursday, not this week, but next week, so that'll be our first Thursday in July, we have a picnic out at Tower Grove Park. And so that's going to be kind of a cool opportunity for us to finally meet in person, because this group started in January. I keep telling everyone I'm so excited to see how tall people are. And so I found out somebody that's been on those calls forever, and I had no idea how tall they were. They just told me they were 6'4". So that's going to be fun. But that'll be next month. So, and then the second Thursday of each month is our committee meeting. So rather than trying to convince committees to figure out how to meet outside of the typical meeting times, we just built it in, so you don't have to worry about another time to meet. And we have all kinds of different committees. There's the advocacy committee, like Michkeal was talking about. Samantha was talking about the morale committee, who's working on the talent show. We also have a marketing committee that right now is working on putting together some video content to market our group. And we have a quality committee who is dedicated sort of broadly to improving the lives of people with disabilities by participating in different groups outside of ours, and by coming up with campaigns, and maybe down the road helping out with training at the ARC. So those are some of the things for committees. And then the third Thursday is what we call Get Her Done Day, where we prepare for our chapter meeting the following week by pulling our reports together. And then we have our chapter meeting. And then occasionally when there's a fifth Thursday, we get to have a party.
So you guys meet every Thursday at 4 o'clock. That's a big commitment. Do you find that that helps to get to know people better because you're meeting every week?
You know what I would say, because I want to see people's personalities like vary, because there is different personalities.
Yeah, I think it's just important to know that other people that are having some of the same challenges you've had, whether it's with school or a job or relationships or money. So that's really cool. In the chat, we've got a long chat from Kimberly saying that they're interested in advocating for people who've experienced trauma, particularly in childhood, and advocating for helping them behaviorally and through therapy instead of with medications, and wanting to know about, like, are we going to talk about that with legislators and addressing kind of the stigma of having both a developmental disability and mental illness?
Yeah, bring it with you, and hopefully they can answer that question, because there's a lot going on with children who has trauma when they were younger. So bring that question so that it can be answered.
Yeah, I agree. Anyone is welcome to come to these meetings. They are open, and that, obviously only the members can like vote and things like that, but anyone is welcome to pop in. We have guests all the time.
I want to ask everybody one final question. And so my question is, if you could go out today and talk to a legislator, a teacher, an employer, anybody out there who is impacting the lives of people with disabilities, what would you want to say to them? And Madeline, I'm going to make you go first so that Michkeal and Samantha have a second to formulate their answers.
So if I could say anything to somebody with more power than me, that's the idea, right? I would probably, I think I would probably want to emphasize the power that I guess I'm thinking legislators, the power that legislators have over people's lives. And I think I would really emphasize that if tiny little things, like for instance, that Medicaid expansion passing can really make a difference in the lives of people with disabilities, and can, when we talk about some of the issues that we're facing, and one of the things we do in the group is everybody gets an opportunity to talk about what, is a priority for them. And we look at, sort of guidelines and different ideas from the ARC, but everybody brings their own ideas. And I think that there are really simple things that people that are legislators could do that are going to make a world of difference to the people in our group. So I guess, yeah, I would probably make a pitch for Medicaid expansion.
Yeah, that advocacy work is happening today because they're trying to get a decision today on funding. And if you want to read something really personal about Medicaid expansion, go check out Luke Barber's Facebook page, another one of my favorite disability advocates. And he did a piece in the Post-Dispatch a couple weeks ago about the impact of not being able to get Medicaid, being in the gap, has on his life. So check it out. I want to know if you could say one thing to somebody that impacts the lives of people with disabilities, whether it's a teacher or an employer or a legislator. What one thing would you want to tell them?
So I'm gonna use a teacher for a reference. So from my experience in elementary through high school, I did have help, but it was little bit. Like with IEPs meetings, I will be there, but I feel like when I'm there, I feel like the black sheep. And I don't want that to happen to any other children who has an IEP. So hopefully if I do talk to teachers, or when I talk to teachers, I would say to them, like, when an IEP comes and you bring your students in there with you, with the person, with the resource teacher and the speech specialist and the parent, including you, ask the student what they want in order for them to succeed in not only inside of the classroom, so that they won't feel like they don't have they won't feel like they are falling behind from other children. Because from my experience, I feel like that when there's a subject that I don't understand, or I feel like that is too hard for me, I fall back. And you try to say children should keep going forward, but we stepping backwards, and that should not happen to any child. So students with disabilities should feel like they are part of the normal, instead of feeling like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, I'm going to quit. Oh, I don't want to do this no more.
Well said. Yeah, I think being able to even be in those meetings and talk about what you're doing well, it would be really excellent. So,
and also, parents, listen to your children. Like, they do have a voice. Don't tear them away from their successes. If there's an opportunity out there for them that they want to do, listen to them so that they can have that opportunity for them to succeed and venture off into whatever exploration that they wanted to lead to.
Samantha just kind of dropped a similar comment in the chat bar. Sounds like you would want to talk to parents too.
I was going to say the same thing what Michkeal said. It's similar. If the parents should listen to the kids. If they need help with their work, the parents should help them.
Excellent. You know, we had a question about where does your confidence come from to be leaders in this group? And I'd love to have both of you answer that. But both of the answers you gave were about helping other people to help build that confidence in younger kids with disabilities so that they are excited and ready to take those opportunities when they come up. So how did you feel confident enough, Samantha, to say, yep, I want to be the financial wellness officer?
Well, I feel confident of myself because I like to have patience with other people and trying my best to be patient with money, and I always tell the truth about money.
Thank you. How about you, Michkeal?
So for me, how do I have confidence? Becoming president. So confidence just don't come out anywhere. Just be like, oh, I have confidence. Yay, I'm going to do this. No. So for me, I would say I always been that person that just blossom or just grow. And I don't know, just for me to be in this organization and seeing like, okay, this can be improving. So let me try this in order for this organization to grow and to expand. So for me being president, I am the voice of reason. Like, I have a voice. I'm going to use that voice. Either whether it's for Black Lives Matter, even for it's the Me Too movement, even if it's just for the LGBTQ pride, and regardless of anything, I'm going to have that voice. I'm going to speak for that voice.
All right. Well, there's nothing more to be said other than that. Whatever you guys did to gain all this confidence, I hope that you're going to spread it around in that advocate group and continue to build some amazing people who want to speak up for themselves, want to speak up for other people in their community, and speak up about issues that impact all of us. So thank you very much for coming today. Everybody have a great week, and speak up for yourself. Join us on Thursdays for our self-advocate group. See you soon.